Let's do it. Coincidentally, I did not plan this. We are both black men with sleeveless shirts on that are also black. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't wear glasses or earrings, so I'm not cosplaying him. Leave me alone.
Chat, do you think
Chat.
that anybody can become a pro Street Fighter player?
Oh, okay. This is about to be Street Fighter for sure. In today's age, it's probably the hardest it's ever been, no? To be a professional Street Fighter player. To be a professional fighting game player is pretty difficult in today's age, I feel like, in general. There are methods, but there's not a lot of opportunities to do it. That's my opinion.
A pro, yeah, like a pro, like, you know,
plays full time,
like a top tier player.
Okay, good. Becoming like a top tier, becoming good at the fucking game, like good as fuck at the game. To me, is a different question than becoming a professional. It's about skill. Okay, this is about skill. I thought it was about like living, like job, occupation, fighting game player. Okay, skill wise, I think anyone could, because you know I'm weird. I can't do things the way that other people do. You know, I have like local level, regional level, major, like national level, and like international, like that. I think anyone can become a regional level fighting game player. Basically, becoming like a national and international level threat, I think not everyone can do, because it's not even just like natural talent or whatever. It's like how much are you willing to sacrifice to get to that level. You need a combination of you're willing to invest a ton of time. The classic meme in my friend group is like, oh my god, okay, you haven't seen that movie, oh my god, okay, you haven't seen that TV show, because I was spending all that time just like grinding fighting games.
So the reason this came up today is because, let me make sure I'm not giving away anything, but I told this person I'm going to talk on stream, but I told them I'm not going to say their name. If they was here, they probably wouldn't care. Someone told me, would you mind if we could talk whenever you get a chance? It's about Street Fighter, struggling with my competitor mindset, could use some advice. These days, it doesn't feel like I have the support like I used to, and the feeling of FOMO when it comes to communities troubles me mentally. Despite my skill as a player, it's almost laughable how much I plateaued, and everyone is way more advanced than I am since they help each other out a lot more. I know that my brain is just lying to me, saying my best isn't enough. I wish I knew what switch was necessary to flip on that tells me I'm stronger than I think I am, and keep it on. My prime definitely isn't over. I know I still have talent and skill, but I'd be lying if I didn't admit that the road to greatness feels far away despite my achievements in the past. I've thought about a lot about this type of stuff over the years, of course, since I used to be a competitive player and all that. I'm not here to give no sugarcoating. I'm not here to. Yeah,
when it's time for this, better, by the way, when it's truly this is required. This is required. I agree 100%.
About the mental health and shit like that, cool. Like, holler at me, that's cool. We cool, and you know, whatever. But if you ask me about this shit right here,
yes,
I gotta be real with you.
Yes.
Because if I'm giving you the wrong information, then how the fuck you gon', you know what I mean? In the end of the day, it's gonna work out the worst for you.
But you gotta be real with yourself, by the way. So I had a conversation with somebody in person about this, which makes it honestly a lot easier. They just want to play what they play, but there's some people who are like, they're not satisfied with how they're doing, and I'm like, well, have you considered switching characters? And they're like, no. And I'm like, all right, so do you think you're gonna be that motherfucker who just like moves this character up like that shit is incredibly rare. The community really misjudges a character, and they're way better than we think. It's incredibly uncommon. By you telling me that you feel that way, and also that you're not considering switching characters, you think you're that fella. You think you're about to do that, you know? Like, do you actually think that? And I'm like, just sit down with that thought for a while. But when it comes to that stuff, you got to be real.
Where this part says, the feeling of FOMO when it comes to community troubles me. Despite my skill as a player, it's almost laughable how much I plateau, and everyone is way more advanced than I am since they help each other out a lot. Bullshit. You do not become an elite player. People exaggerate how important it is for people to share information to make you extra godlike or whatever. That's not true. That's not really how it goes, in my opinion. That's why you have people that are not even from godlike scene, and they become extremely strong. Am I lying? No. We
got that in Strive, right? We've had people come out. At this point, I don't think it's even a surprise that people come out of nowhere. But I guess what he's saying is like the person is looking for like a magic bullet is a good way of putting it.
Scenes that we don't even know about at first, and they become super godlike. Like, yes, DR is good, but DR wasn't motherfucking Japan, and Minna became godlike, correct? Angry Bird and Big Bird, they're from the fucking Middle East. That's not Japan. It wasn't like just a billion godlike players. Those two, now yes, there's some good people there, GTRs, stuff like that, but when it came to coming up, they were just pretty much training together. First and foremost, when people talk all about that community stuff, it's extremely overrated when it comes to somebody becoming like a super elite godlike player. That's just not true. That's just not.
Don't get it twisted though. I do think it's important. I do think if you want a magic bullet, one of the best ways to get better is to play people who are good often. It is the most reliable, because on the one hand, he's spitting, but on the other hand, this is why they tell stories about those people. You know what I mean? I think another way you could look at this, though, is that all you do need is one other person. And it's kind of good, too, because now all the games are good online, so you can, even if you don't have someone nearby, you can still find someone to play with and you have as a training partner. Side note, okay. For a little bit further elaboration, it is very nice to be from somewhere with a known scene or a scene in general, but it's not it's not totally required. There's a bunch of asterisks of like how far are you willing to travel, and like are you like so committed to it that you're gonna do it. Again, in today's age, it's like a lot less important, that aspect, and just like how consistent you are with practicing, and like do you go out of your way to find strong people. I get what he's trying to tell this person, though. Like, if the person is saying like I need a big group of people to share information with all the time, technically that is not true. Like, let's go all the way back to Melty. Melty was pretty much like two main communities. There was New York and there was like Cali, the West Coast group, like Cali and Arizona and stuff. I live in the middle of nowhere in New Jersey, and I played it with my friend Tomberry and my other friend Generic Superhero, and the three of us just played. The thing was, we did go to New York, and of course there's like Big E tournaments and stuff. Shout out to Big E. But in the end, the majority of the time of our time playing is against each other. And then we're like, even in BB, so BB, you know, New York is there. It's not close, but it's there. Like, the most important thing, I agree with him, the most important thing is not having a bunch of people around. So if you're saying that's the thing that's stopping you, that's like low-key kind of cap. But I think he undervalues how good it is, because it is the most reliable way, for sure. If you're a Street Fighter player, if you travel back in time to fucking 2010, you're a Street Fighter player and you get to fucking play with, like, you get to go to Big 2 all the time, every week, and you're truly committed, you will bare minimum be lowercase g good. Bare minimum, right? You'll bare minimum be lowercase g good, and then you'll go on the one trip a year to somewhere like Atlanta or something, and then you're like, damn, I'm actually kind of good at this game. I thought I was mid because I play with amazing people all the time.
9 times out of 10, bro, if it's a first to 2, or if you're in battle line with somebody and they beat you a lot, whatever, you can't tell me that you are watching your replays and you don't see one thing that you could have perfect period, that you wasn't perfect period. You can't tell me that you watch your matches and you hit every anti-air. Maybe you did, but there's always something that you can't tell me that you whiff punish that. You can't tell me that you check that drive verse. You can't tell me that you motherfuckers just don't know how to train. I'm able to immediately go a certain point because I know how to fucking train, and I'm taking accountability even if I get annoyed, and I know how to train. 99% of people are just not.
Being honest with how you feel while you play is actually really important too. So it's been a while because it doesn't come up a lot. I think it's important to acknowledge how you actually feel while you're playing, and like to not deny that too much. And one of the comments is like, I don't like this from you. Okay, I think you're trying to like validate people and not letting people be accountable. And I'm like, no, what I'm saying is you have to address that thought and then do something with it. If I truly, for example, if I think someone is truly being lazy while playing, I could say that. But if I don't act on that thought or act on that like feeling, whatever, then that's when you're like, okay, you're being whiny. Or like you get angry, it's like, okay, I'm angry, I gotta relax. Like you acknowledge how you feel, because like you feel that way for a reason. And it's also really important for people who are bad at watching their replays. So people who enter tournaments who they lose and they don't watch it, because I was that person. By the way, this was on IGN. This is from Evo 2013. It's me versus Yume Grand Finals. I got absolutely destroyed by Yume. I actually did not watch this match for more than 6 months, a year. I didn't watch this for a really long time. Another one. This is another relatively famous match. Is this? It'd be Spark. This is the BlazBlue, the first official BlazBlue Evo where I got second. I did not watch this for the rest of this version. I just couldn't do it. I don't know what I do know what it was. It was a bad mental. On the other hand, for progress, I'm going to show you a tournament that you might be familiar with, mostly because this just happened, okay? This set that I lost to Kazam. Here. We had, as I described it, this was a war of a set that we played in winner's semifinal. He beat me 3-2. I watched it here. So while this is going on, I'm watching me versus Kazam in the crowd. I am watching me versus Kazam in the crowd because I'm like, if I make a run, I have to play him again because he's in winner's He's in winners, which means I have to play in losers final. So I was watching it within 30 minutes. I know a bunch of people who cannot watch their losses. And I think it's important to watch everything, both wins and losses. I think you learn from all matches. I think you could learn from playing people who are way, way better than you and also way, way worse than you. There's always something you can do and a way to improve. I think it's a very important idea to have your mind for this genre, and I guess in life. I guess that's a life lesson that you got for free from me.
My brain telling me my best isn't enough. But this goes to a lot of people.
Yes.
If you think that you're not good enough, you're not good enough. That ain't no motivational shit. That's not for me to help you. That's not a trick saying so that you can change it up. No.
I'm letting
When
cook.
I came into this shit as a player, I fully expected to beat everybody ass. Do you know the ego required to really do this shit?
Ooh, this is such a... There are so many ways you can go. I want to say I became a realist pretty... I want to say pretty early, but like... I guess by the time we're getting to like Exert, I guess. Kind of like a real... I go to a tournament and I'm like, I can win this, or like, I don't think I can win it. Like, and it is truthful. For recency, the biggest event I've gone to in the past month is Evo France. I thought the best I could get, the absolute best I could get is like third. To get better than third, I was like, I gotta get lucky. Started thinking like the character is good enough, and when I looked at who was going and looked at the bracket, I was like, you know what, man, like I don't really truly think there are people who are just straight up like a tier above me skill. I did not think a single person there was like that. I thought there are people who I would struggle against personally, but not like specifically because they were a lot better than me at the game. Being a realist in fighting games is good and bad at the same time. So the example is the losers bracket thing of, to qualify for top 8, I had to play one of the people where I was like, I literally don't think I could beat them. And it was Gobo, because Gobo plays Asuka, which is Biker's worst matchup. There's like 600 people at this tournament, and I'm running into one of the only dead ends at this spot. A lot of people, the most common mindset, I guess, is from like all the, I don't know where it is. I think it's good to dig into your ego and delusions for the beginning. At some point, you're going to have to address them, I feel like. At some point, you got to address it, because if you're not winning everything or mostly everything, your ego is going to be like, okay, so what's going on, bro? Like, for these reasons, and I set a goal, and then I set like a stretch goal of like, I'm like, I'm pretty sure my character combination and my current skill, I can do this for sure. And if things go really well, I can go past that. And once I go past that, I'm like, all right, let's just keep fucking going. Let's not even think about placing. Let's keep going, stay in the moment. You want to manage your expectations. You don't want your ego to go too out of control, but you do have to remember that like your ego does drive you too. It's a very careful balancing type of thing. Honestly, around those two Evos that we just looked at real quick, my mentality is really bad. I basically was just like, I'm so shit. Definitely the worst thing you could do is just say you're bad all the time. If you tell yourself you're bad all the time, you got to get out of that. You got to work on that. What ended up working for me was just in the moment where I had that thought, I just go, you can think about that later. Right now you have to play. I was surprised how effective a method that was. And it's what I use to this day.
You know the times that I've cried and been depressed, but it worked out. Motherfucker ended up getting stronger and shit like that. But like, I had to risk my mental health damn near. It was not healthy, but to some level, motherfuckers gotta risk their mental health to some level, even, because you really are telling yourself that you are having the ego to say all of these guys across the world are training really hard and trying to be the best, but I believe I'm gonna be better than all of them. Then that means by default, when I lose or when it does not go how I expect it to go, then you see a punk crash out, correct? Then you see men talking crazy and then you see, and you know, some of the players y'all don't know personally off camera, but I'm telling you, bro, like that's I remember Lil Blah's lost.
Oh my god! For every one backdash bang bang, there's like 50 or 60 rants you have never heard or seen from your boy. Trust me. But the thing is, the internet don't need that, bro. We just got to flush that out. You just flush those emotions out, and then you move on. Yeah, you're laughing like I'm not dead ass, but I'm so fucking dead ass. How many times have I cried over fighting game? 3, 2, 3. Surprisingly, I never cried over Guilty Gear. I'm thinking really hard. I never cried over GG a single time. I only cried over Blaze Blue and I cried over Dragon Ball. Originally, I did not care about Evo because I was like, this shit is on West Coast, bro. Fuck West Coast. I didn't care about Evo until they added Melty Blood the 1 year to Evo. When Melty Blood won the Evo vote, I was like, oh, I guess I'm going to Evo. But before that, I was like, why would you go to Evo? It's fucking NEC is the big tournament. Like, fuck Evo. But my original big goal was to go to Togeki. Super Battle Opera. Togeki. That was my big goal. I was going to go to Togeki. I was going to be the fella. Right? I was going to be that guy. Melty Blood. That was my game of choice. In Blaze Blue, we had a US Togeki qualifier in Houston at Anime Matsuri. So I went and I actually teamed up with a incredibly good player, basically one of the best BB players in the country at that time, who also was living in Japan. So he lived in US and Japan. And we teamed up together and we got second. And I remember just like saying GG's, going outside. I was just fucking in tears. I was like, damn, bro. This was supposed to be the beginning of the moment, and like I played so shitty, and I just fucking lost it. And DBFZ kind of same thing. DBFZ it was early. It was Winter Brawl. So for Dragon Ball, it would be Winter Brawl. Like the first big major for the game was Winter Brawl. And when Dragon Ball came out after a couple of weeks, I was like, this game's ass. I was like, this game fucking sucks, man. And again, thanks to Kizzy. Kizzy kind of centered me, and I kept playing the game. I was grinding the game. I was going to a shit ton of tournaments. I was going to tournaments like 5 days a week. I was playing really good people in our region. Diaphone was playing, for example, and we kind of had a big back and forth. I'd go down to Maryland. I would go up into New York. I'd go over New Jersey. Like I was playing Hook really early in New Jersey, and I was doing really well. And right before Winter Brawl, I won 2 big important events. I won the Xanadu. There was like a big special Dragon Ball Xanadu with a couple hundred entrants that I won in the old venue for any boomers, in the old Xanadu venue before they moved to the horse racing place. For Philly, there was like a Dragon Ball citywide tournament. Like they advertised it all over the city, and that shit had like 300 entrants. It was me, Diaphone, and Grand Finals. I won both. So I was like, yo, I'm pulling up to Winter Brawl, because the big thing is, circling back to what I thought this video might be about, was about trying to be a gamer full time, because at that time I knew Dragon Ball was coming out and I thought it'd be a really good opportunity. I did not think there was going to be another game as big as Dragon Ball, and I was like, yo, if you want to do full-time gaming, this is the time. And I knew from history that one of the best opportunities I would have would be Winter Brawl short term. So while I was living off tournaments essentially and like stream, I was like, Winter Brawl is the one. I get top 8 at Winter Brawl, I can go to sponsors and be like, hey, da 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 da. And after those 2 big wins, I get 33rd at Winter Brawl. I get 33rd, and I am like, what am I fucking doing with my life? Nothing matters. I am wasting my fucking life. This shit is crazy. And I got extremely depressed. I cried in the bathroom for like 3 hours. And then I was like, all right, we keep it pushing after. But I was like, what the fuck do I do though? For I think it was the only real, I guess it's only 2, because I remember them so well. So if there was another time, then I would remember it really well, because I don't, especially over competition, I don't cry that much.
If you're asking me if I think you should pursue trying to be a pro player, no, I don't. I think it's a waste. I think it's nearly a waste of time. I know if I try to be a pro player, I think I would, like, I'm dead ass serious, think I'd be godlike within a year. If you don't got level 1 of having an illogical, crazy amount of confidence, you can never beat a motherfucker who really got that shit.
I feel like so many people say this, no? A couple of years ago, I went through a lot of like, I should explore sports mentality, sport, like all this shit of all sorts of angles and stuff. The thing that resonated with me the most was really like, outside of just like the regular consistency, truly trust the process. I think you see that in my results over the years in general too. Like, it was never automatic for me. It was always like, I worked on it, and then like hit one, and then I would hit another, like that. The only game that I truly came out like day one like super strong was Persona. That was the only one that like I feel like I instantly clicked with. Every other game I was like, what the fuck is what is happening? Trusting the process is a little bit different than like I really resonated with like visualizing outcomes and visualizing your wins and shit. I think that helped me out a lot when I was kind of like down about stuff. In the games that are more volatile, I think there are far more people who just say they can do it. Where like in the games where it's like, it's really hard to actually overcome a small skill gap, you don't see as many people just be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do it. Except Dragon Ball. But I don't blame Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball fans play Dragon Ball. It's a shonen, so of course there's gonna be a bunch of people who have that attitude, despite that game being it's actually pretty difficult to beat someone who's a little bit better than you in that game. I guess that's probably the easiest way for somebody to would be like, yo, like you gotta push your ego a little bit if you're really gonna push for this. It's something I'm really curious about.
There's some people, and if this is you, anybody who just make excuses for everything in life in general, and the shit applies to fighting games, right?
This is the thing I was talking about before, by the way. This is the thing I was talking about before. Like, that it's okay to process the emotion as long as you take accountability for it and do something about it. This is how you know he is a real one, by the way. Because this is the exact same shit I said.
In a much smaller case, I was just playing with one of my homies, last night. We playing Ryu versus Kimberly. That's like, I think she was Kirby's character in the game, whatever, right? My homie, like, I know I'm a lot colder than him at Street Fighter. Like, you know, it's my dog, my real life day homie. This motherfucker beat me like the first 10 games in a row. But I know I'm losing to this Kimberly stuff that I don't know yet. And it's like frustrating me. I don't know what strategy should I do. Like, what the fuck? But I had to have humility and be like, okay, and I thought of a strategy. And I was like, start thinking, trying this, trying that, thinking. And next thing you know, I'm winning motherfucking 15 games in a row and shit. That is a microcosm of what it's really like to try to go and become like elite at some shit. If y'all get where I'm coming from. People ask me tips even sometimes on confidence, bro. You know why I'm confident at shit? Do you know the best way to be confident, chat? By having truth on your side. When truth is on your side, it's easy to be confident.
Facts.
I don't gotta try. I'm not confident in my motherfucking astrophysics knowledge.
Yes. My pausing time is gone. Like, it's very true, by the way. Well, one thing about fighting games is that you're very public. It's you and it's public, right? In times where, you know, if people are making comments about your play and when you're new, I think it's difficult and you kind of need a chip on your shoulder. You kind of just need to push through. Or if you're blessed to have a scene, just be like, you'll be fine. You'll get better, right? But like, this is a match that's almost 20 years old. This match is about to be 18 years old in a couple months. This is just casuals. This is me against the person who would win this tournament. This is NEC like 7. Very old tournament. I watched some of it. I'm not bad, but here I'm not bad. Like, I've been playing. It's clear. Like, I got combos. I got pressure. I got setups, activation. You know, I'm messing stuff up, but it's like I clearly know how to play the game here compared to the match that many people have seen, which is like and there are a few comments here, all of them, and there's some like I never thought I would see like beginner LCare. So it's like people looking back. There's 2 weeks after I start playing fighting games, basically. This is more motivation that I use for people who are like thinking about playing or they don't want to enter something, but they always have wanted to. I'm like, yo, dude, everyone starts somewhere. Here is much later, basically a year later, and I clearly kind of know what I'm doing. I get 17th at this tournament. I side bet on Brandino the whole time. We're playing online all the time. I bet on Brandino over and over. I ended up winning a bunch of money. I remember, and maybe this is the secret, like, okay, because at the beginning, I do think you got to think of something to drive you to, like, aim really, really high. So it's like Midwest versus West Coast Grand Finals. Brandino wins, okay? I remember I walk over. I'm really happy. He's stoked. He can't believe it. I can't believe it. But at the same time, it's like an anime moment. Because I'm like, you know, this is one of the main people I play. He won. I got 17th. Not 3rd, not 7th, not 9th. Am I actually trying as hard as I possibly can right now? Am I actually putting that much effort? Be honest, because I know, we all know it's not the character. The character I'm playing is considered to be a top 5 character in this game. I decide after this tournament, after all the celebrations, I'm like, I'm going to double down. There's another NEC a year from now. I was like, the year after this tournament, if I don't win, it has to be top 3. We're none of this 17th shit. Like, it has to be top 3. This is December 31st, 2007, right before the New Year's, right? As promised, 1 year later, I'm in grand finals. The last tournament for this game in NA. The last tournament that matters for this game in NA. I'm in grand finals after another year practice. And if you want to talk about sacrifice, I almost got kicked out of college to fucking get second at a Melty tournament. But I didn't lie to myself. Okay. I did not win, but at least I accomplished the goal. I was like, if I don't win, if I don't get top 3, I fucking wasted a year. And it did take a crumb of ego, a crumb of delusion, a crumb of like, yo, you can do this. You can do this. These guys are not. It's the same as the first time I played Melee too. The first time I played Melee, I was also like, these guys are not fucking better than you. This sentiment is so common in fighting games. True, but it's like, how far are you willing to go? And depending on the type of person, you either lean too much into it or you lose it. I think in my case, I lost it for a while because I was so like emo, basically. I was just emo. Despite in hindsight, I was doing really fucking well, but I was just emo because I didn't know how to handle being in public. In modern games, like in Strive, for example, outside of like I'm in a terrible mood, someone like saying I'm washed or whatever, like it doesn't mean shit to me really, because I'm just like, yeah, you know, been here before, heard this before, I know, trust the process. It's a good video, I would say.
When the truth is on my side, confidence is a natural byproduct. As a natural byproduct, you don't fish for compliments. People just start complimenting you. So the same thing applies when it comes to playing a fighting game. I never had to, when I was beating motherfuckers' ass, I didn't have to feign confidence or force it. I know I did the work. Daigo's book, The Will to Keep Winning, he says you don't even got to focus on winning. If you doing the work, winning is just what happens. How the fuck you not gonna win?
I read that book finally last year in my sports exploration. I read Daigo's book. I saved quite a few quotes from Lord Daigo. Let's pick a random one. Okay, here's a short passage. This one really stuck with me. In the past, I didn't accept that luck affected my outcome in competition. I loved fighting games and put my all into my matches, and in my mind, any competition involving luck, including item throw characters, I had that part by the way, was something to be avoided. At the same time, I always thought I was the best player at any game I played. The way I saw it, I would have won more if Japanese tournament organizers would abandon their obsession with the single elimination format and replaced it with one that better reflected real ability. As much as I hate admitting it, I used to think that I'd win more if only my luck were better. Then my thinking started to change. As my outlook expanded, I realized that you can't stay on top by relying on luck. To win consistently, you need to win even when fortune does not favor you. Your resolve must be impervious to misfortune. Let me repeat that. Your resolve must be impervious to misfortune. Only those strong enough to overcome 3 Johnnies in a row and 2 Happy Chaos players in a row can attain the skill to render them inert. Is that not godded? Is that God? Is that not a goated quote? My man is spitting. If I ever get a tattoo, it might be that. You need to be dedicated to a level beyond hoping. Beyond hope. Powerful. It's a good book. If you're serious about fighting games, it's a good book.
I don't see how somebody cannot get better if you got replays to fucking look at.
A couple of interesting topics. One is the plateau. I actually don't know how long Rob TV played fighting games. I think low-key a plateau is inevitable. But here is, though I'm talking from personal experience, I felt like one really important thing for me personally, I'm not going to say this applies to everybody, it's for me personally. I have these like, I just started calling them like breakthrough moments of like, there are certain, similar to an RPG or anime, there's a certain moment at a certain event that like unlocks something in me. What I think should actually happen is you run into a challenge that's very difficult to overcome and you push and push and push and it's going to feel like a plateau. It's going to feel like you're not moving, but if you are truly working as you should, you can get through it. Yeah, I guess that's also the definition of a plateau. Because I read what B-Mac is saying. I'm like, oh, did I not just say what a plateau is?
People be disrespecting motherfuckers to me. It's disrespectful. People be like, oh, want to be a content creator. Niggas don't be wanting to be a content creator. They be wanting to have what they think is an easy job and not have to work and get what they think is free money and shit like that. You don't love making no fucking content, nigga. So you ain't gonna be nice. Motherfuckers think they want to be Street Fighter player. You want the fans of it or the glory or the da-da-da, but you don't really you don't want that shit. Because if you really wanted that shit, you would consume yourself totally. Like, it'll consume you and the law of attraction will start taking place. I want to make sure I have a big caveat with this too. I want to talk about natural talent, chat.
Uh-oh.
Natural talent exists.
Yep.
Fuck what people talking about. Y'all know him? Consecutive years as the world's top ranked player, the golden chess. Okay. Does he play a physical game or no? No, he does not, correct? He plays chess. It's less physical than Street Fighter. If you think that Magnus Carlsen wins in consistent dominance of other grandmasters, super grandmasters, is not natural talent, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not saying he does not work hard. The other players have fucking 50 grandmasters, chess engines, and da-da, but for some reason, he better than everybody. All the time, consistently. Natural talent does exist. However, I believe that everybody has natural talent in different things.
Okay.
Right?
Not controversial.
And only some people find what their thing is.
That one is slightly controversial, actually. But yeah, I'm basically with it, though.
I I think a lot of people ram their head against the wall doing some stuff that is not for them. If their goal is really to be the best at it, then sometimes they're ramming their head against the wall repeatedly at something that they just not gonna be. You know what I'm saying? If you watching this, please understand. If you are not already if you're not a pro level fire, you can make top 8 of big premier motherfucker. This don't apply to you yet. Most people never have worked hard enough to even see what their natural talent limit is. This is the best way I'm gonna put it for y'all. I think if you've been playing and you dead ass serious up to pro level and you ain't been nice for motherfucking, like you haven't been able to bust through for 5 years or something like that, then I think you should maybe retire.
Is it not funny how he bought it back? He bought it back. That's a pretty good way to end it, honestly. He bought it back all the way to fucking, am I really trying my absolute hardest to be as good as I can? That is the thought I had after this tournament. Am I truly working as hard as I can to be as good as I can? Not the type of video I thought it was going to be. I actually thought this was going to be what does it take to, like, live off fighting it and stuff like that. I didn't know it was about actually, like, the game and mentality and stuff. I actually do like talking about stuff like this. I think it's actually just a little bit difficult to include it in YouTube content, frankly. I thought it was good. Shout out to Rob TV. You know where to find him. Here's his YouTube channel. Oh, here's his second YouTube channel. He has a second YouTube channel.